Today's Reddit story is about a mom who didn't tell her ex-boyfriend about their child. Does that make her the a-hole? Let's find out. It's from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? And it's titled, Am I the a-hole for not telling my ex about our child? I was 18 when I got pregnant with my daughter, 9 female. I was young and dumb, I'll admit to that. Her father and I broke up before I found out, high school sweethearts. At the time, we were both figuring out college, and I knew if I told him, he wouldn't go to the Ivy League school he was accepted to. So I didn't tell him during the pregnancy. He heard rumors, but never asked. When the baby was born, I tried to tell him. He didn't believe me, blocked me on everything, and I decided to provide for her without his help. I bring my daughter everywhere, and this particular day, we went to Target. I'm walking down the shampoo aisle with my daughter, and when I look up, I saw my ex's mom. I have never lied to my daughter about who her father was or his parents. She has seen pictures. When she was little and asked where he was, I explained college. And when she got older, I never painted him as a bad guy. I've always told her, Mommy made adult decisions too young. My daughter is a spitting image of her father, so there's no denying it's his child. Once she saw her, she had a face like she knew something and asked me how old she was. She told me she had heard rumors but didn't think they were true. Once I told her I saw her face put the connection together. I explained I wanted to contact him but didn't have a way to. I didn't bother telling her I tried when she was born. She understood and asked if she could tell him. I said, of course. Apparently, he's been living a couple hours away, which is why I never ran into him, and they moved a few towns over. My ex called and invited me to his parents' house for dinner tomorrow with our daughter. Do I go? His new girlfriend is blowing up my social media, calling me an a-hole. She says I'm only telling him now so they break up and how I'm a horrible mother for not telling him sooner. As if I don't feel bad enough my daughter has missed out this long. My daughter wants to meet her dad. She understandably has questions. Now, I'm glad that OP was gracious enough to not badmouth the baby daddy about it. That's very mature of her. I'm also glad that the baby daddy reached out to OP to try to make things right, to try to meet up and actually meet his daughter. I guess, things have changed. She initially try to tell, the baby daddy that she has a baby, that he is a father, but he chose to not believe it and blocked her on everything. So you really can't blame OP. Now, the title is misleading because the title did say, Am I the a-hole for not telling my ex? The truth of the matter is, you did tell him. He just chose to not believe it. Now, I believe that people can change and mature. I'm sure that by the time you had her, you were like 18, 19 years old probably, and your daughter's 9 years old now, so that's quite a few years apart. So I'm sure that you guys have all grown up and you guys have become a little bit more mature. So, I'm not going to say too much about baby daddy's reaction for now. And I'm glad that, seems like you're keeping a very open communication. So that's very good. Now, on to the baby daddy's girlfriend. What does she have to do with any of this? The fact that she was blowing up your social media, calling you a horrible mother, and blaming you for possibly, saying that, oh, you're waiting until now to tell baby daddy that he's a father. You're trying to break us up. Again, OP has no communication with the baby daddy. Like, what? And again, it has nothing to do with the girlfriend. It has zero effect on her. I just think that the baby daddy's girlfriend is cuckoo-luku. Anyways, let's see what some of the commenters have to say. So, first commenter says, when the baby was born, I tried to tell him. He didn't believe me, blocked me on everything. But you did tell him. It's not your fault he refused to believe you and cut off lines of communication. Besides, you didn't seek him out 9 years later. You are shopping with your child with his mother when his mother noticed you. You're definitely not the a-hole, and the new girlfriend is way out of line for contacting you at all. I completely agree. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. You did tell him, and he proceeded to ghost you. I can't blame his current girlfriend because she's probably not getting the whole truth. Your ex is a huge a-hole. Okay. I'm kind of like on the fence. But yeah, that was an a-hole move to like cut out contact and not believing OP. So yeah, I can see that. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. Your title is misleading. You absolutely told him and he refused to believe you entirely. Ignore the girlfriend. It's not about her. Hopefully dad wants to be a part of your daughter's life and hopefully he understands that he has a commitment to her. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. You tried to tell him, and he didn't listen. He blocked you, which made you unable to communicate with him any further. You have no obligation to welcome him or his parents into your and your daughter's life now, but you can if you believe it will be good for her and for you. Yes. You don't have to go to dinner, and honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't until you've met up with and spoken to your ex without your daughter and know exactly what he wants and expects and what role he will play in her life. His girlfriend has nothing to do with this. Block her and tell your ex you don't want her communicating with you, at least for now. Yes, I completely agree. Now, the OP does provide some updates. Now let's get into it. First update, she wrote, I took everyone's advice to ask my ex to meet for coffee before dinner. He said he'll be happy to get coffee tomorrow morning so we can have the adult conversation without her there. He also wanted to talk to me anyways to know what she likes so he knew what to talk to her about. I also let him know I didn't want to cause drama, but I sent him screenshots of what his girlfriend has been saying. He let me know that's unacceptable and he'll be handling that immediately. And I will not be hearing from her again. He also reiterated he will not be having her meet our daughter anytime soon. I know everyone is also asking about how involved or consistent he'll like to be. When I spoke to him earlier about dinner, we did speak about this. He liked to start small and build their relationship slowly, starting with helping with science homework. Our daughter struggles with science and he was a biology major. Over FaceTime or in person, depending on our daughter's comfort level. I think it's a great way to start small. Update number 2. My ex and I met for coffee. It actually went really well. There was no big emotions. We both just talked it out. He wants to be involved with his daughter's life and feels badly he's missed out on so many years. We talked about her favorite things, favorite foods, favorite places, favorite books and movies. I even told him some of the ways she was a lot like him growing up. He does want to apologize to her directly when he meets her. He said he wished things had gone differently back then, but we both decided we need to forgive each other to move forward for her. He asked if she had a father figure right now, a spouse of mine or current significant other, as he wanted to make sure we were on the same page when he met her, and I explained that's not the case. He also did show me the messages where he told his parents and his girlfriend what actually happened 9 years ago. He told them I'm not completely to blame, and I let him know he isn't either. We have agreed our daughter doesn't need to hear the whole version of events, but we do owe her an apology for making really big decisions that affected her life for so long. I guess we'll see how dinner goes. Update on the dinner. Prior to the dinner, I let my daughter know that if she wants to leave early, we could, or if she feels uncomfortable at all, to let me know. I also told her if she didn't want to say anything in front of anyone, sometimes kids don't want to hurt other people's feelings, that if she asked me for lotion, I would know that meant she wanted to leave. On our way there, she did ask if it's okay if she called him dad or if she would call him by his name, and I told her that her dad and I had talked about that and she can call him whatever she's comfortable with. We went there and it went really well. We brought some pictures of her growing up, and my ex's mom went out and bought one of our daughter's favorite books for her to read so that they can talk about it. I could tell my daughter was a little nervous at first, not knowing what to expect, but that very quickly changed. They had bought a small activity for them to do with her after dinner, which she loved. Her dad and I also apologized to her together for making decisions that affected her life this long. We promised her to work on making sure she had a good relationship moving forward with both of us because we know her heart is big enough for all of her family. At the end of the night, my ex's mom actually brought out a box that had all our high school memories inside. I didn't realize she had kept any of it. A jewelry box he bought me, a couple of charms and bracelets he had bought me, pictures, his handkerchief from prom, and our old promise ring. She was really excited to see a small glimpse from our class. Her father even told her she could have the items when she's older, which meant a lot to her. She's a very emotional and sentimental child. They talked about how he's going to help her with some homework if she wants, and he's planning on moving back around here to be closer to her. He even volunteered to help with her first science fair, if that was okay, which made me sad for a split second, but then I remember I had 9 years of first with her, so he can have this one. All in all, I think everything is going well. Also, apparently the girlfriend is out of the picture. I don't know the details, but I know she said some things when he confronted her about the messages she sent me, and it got ugly fast. On the way home, she was so excited she couldn't stop talking about dad and grandma and grandpa. It made my heart happy she had so much fun. I know some people were asking about child support. Him and I had a conversation around it while she was spending a few minutes with her grandparents. He volunteered to pay child support. I've been paying for things on my own for so long that I told him I think it would be more beneficial for him to help me with things going forward and to contribute the rest to her college fund. That way, the money is going into her future. I do have an appointment set up with her therapist tomorrow just so she can talk to her about it and everything. Dad is also going to start occasionally going to therapy with her too. I do it periodically as well, so we thought it would be beneficial. Wow. Final update. For everyone asking for updates, our daughter's first day of school is coming up. Dad and grandparents are coming to my house on her first day of school for pictures. She called and asked them to come, and no one hesitated to take the morning off of work. Wow. Sounds like everything's working out in your favor, OP. I'm glad that the girlfriend's out of the picture because she sounds toxic. And I'm glad that you guys are building a great relationship with the grandparents and dad, and that you're very forgiving. That I like that this is a very positive story. It's not very common that we hear these types of good communications about apologizing, being more like in tune with everything and be so mature about handling the situation. I give props to everyone, to the OP, to the daughter, to the dad, and to the grandparents. There was no pressure whatsoever. Everything was filtered through and making sure that the daughter's comfort is number one's priority. That is wonderful to hear. But let's see what some of the commenters have to say about this update. First commenter says, you know what? Actually, no, these comments are actually from the OP. OP says that he's moving back home to be closer to her and he's trying. I can't ask for more than that. He also mentioned she's living her best life right now, which I'm super happy about. Dad has been calling every day and they talk, which has been great for her. And then one final comment says, his parents are just so happy to finally be a part of her life. Again, wonderful update. Great. And I wish all the best to OP, the daughter, the dad, and to the grandparents. Because it sounds like it's going to work out really well. And that everything is in order. You guys talked about everything. And without any fighting or blaming, this is such a wonderful story. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comment section. And if you like these types of stories, to continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.